Hey, what up, y'all? Another unscripted video coming from the C-Dub laboratory. Okay, I made it sound cool. It's actually my bedroom. And anyways, today I want to talk about more along the lines of creating reality, but also programming and the current realities that we have been living. Because in a way, I don't know. At least I'm speaking for myself. I haven't always lived the reality that I've wanted to be living, or the reality that's truest to myself. And a lot of the reality we're living is through programming. Now, I've come up with a lot of videos on the present moment. If you haven't at least grabbed a little bit of that concept, then maybe go back, try to learn more about the present moment, because the present moment is all that exists, and our current thoughts and how we are feeling is creating our reality, and all that exists is right now. So at every moment in time, we are creating reality. Now that's a lot of responsibility to know that you're creating reality at all points. And I've gone into this for the practical way that I've learned how to create reality and to ensure that I'm creating the reality in which I want is I'm consciously aware of my thinking. And this is basically the first step of this whole practical applying, learning about the present moment and learning how your thoughts and feelings create reality. Sorry, I got a little Beethoven on in the background. It might get a little loud at some points, but I'm hoping that you'll be able to hear me over that. Anyways, so yeah, when we become consciously aware of our thoughts and our feelings, we'll start to realize that some thoughts don't correspond with how maybe we want reality to turn out. This becomes a bit of an issue. However, the reason for this is programming. It's because through things like education, schooling system, media, media comes in all forms. We got television, we got news, we got newspapers, we got magazines, we got billboards, we got shit everywhere. Um, Along with the people we meet, our families, and everything else, we have been delivered all these ideas, beliefs, and concepts. Now, some of these beliefs and concepts have been treated as if we should already know them, or people act like this is already how it is and whatnot, and maybe haven't asked all the questions of why it is this way, or at least went into it further and really seen what's behind that truth or so-called truth at that point. So we have all these ideas and these concepts and these beliefs delivered into our system, but we don't always have the time to go over them and reflect on these concepts. And when we reflect on them, then we can decide which ones are maybe outdated, which ones apply to us, which ones don't. But especially with school, we're expected just to relay this information over and test and show how we know the information when we don't exactly realize that this is actually, in a way, creating our beliefs. Because then we're like, oh, well, I know this, I know no, things are this way, whatever. So, you might be a grade A student in some areas, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you are creative or thinking outside of the box. You're just relaying information. And what I'm telling you is some of this information actually has been meant to limit our beliefs and to allow for other agendas to take place, ones that might not go with our morality or what we believe is true or even resonates with who we are. And especially how I always go back to this, how I see that we're all loving beings at the core. We don't want to hurt other people, because in reality we're just hurting ourselves. And again, with the whole karma aspect, what we put out is what we get back. What we reap is what we sow. So when we start doing these things and experiencing it more and more, we realize, how this really works, and that does also apply back to the rule of being consciously aware. The more that we're consciously aware of our thoughts and feelings, we understand what's creating our reality. Mind you, this can drive you a little cuckoo at times. It's tough knowing that. Not tough. Tough at first, I guess. It's tough at first knowing that your thoughts and feelings create your reality. It's pretty wild. So you want to make sure that you are at least paying attention. So say you have some thoughts like, oh, I can't do this or whatnot. Well, if you're consciously aware, you can all of a sudden stop that, allow yourself to feel, get out whatever's making you feel that way inside, so then you can go on to thoughts that are, better about yourself, that thoughts that are more conducive to how you know you are, and what you can accomplish in this world, and what you can just accomplish even for yourself. So there's a lot of power with thoughts and whatnot, and you don't want to lie to yourself. That's why I'm saying you want to feel through things. There's been a lot of feelings through moments in what we consider the past, even though all that exists is right now, but there has been moments that have happened to us before that have made us feel certain ways that we end up believing it is that way about ourselves. So let's just give an example. Let's say we were made fun of in a situation, or someone said we weren't good enough. Whatever it was, I'm not gonna get too specific right now, but so basically, we felt a certain way, and then we believed maybe that's how we are, that's how it is, and that's the perception of things. However, where we heard it from, that was only the perception of that person, or maybe that wasn't even like truly their perception. Maybe that was the perception that they heard from somebody else and someone else and someone else, and it came down through a family line or whatever it was. So these limited beliefs end up being carried and passed on, and because maybe another feels insignificant, well then they want you to feel that same insignificance or whatnot. And it comes down to a bit of selfishness, but at the same time it's simply misunderstanding, not knowing. So it's really good to have these new perceptions and whatnot. So anyways, that's all I kind of wanted to get into today. I just kind of wanted to bring up the fact how everything that has come into our existence has come in, and it's been thoughts that have come into our existence, and we end up allowing those thoughts to create our reality. So we want to make sure that what we allow into our consciousness, that stream of thought and whatnot, are things that resonate with us. And if they're not, then we're consciously aware enough at the time to not believe them, and kind of, I guess what you could say is deflect them away. Because when you're consciously aware, you don't have to allow things in. You only have to allow in things that resonate with you. And I'm a lot of a feeling person. I can feel things out, and I know that we all have these abilities. So what I do, which is the best for me in the moment, is make sure I'm in a state where I'm clear-minded, so I have no thoughts running, and that I'm in a state where I can feel. And then when the information is coming in, I can feel whether it resonates with me or not. So when something is the truth and it really sits with me, well then I feel it, and then I actually get these vibrations that come through my body. It feels really damn good. And if it's not, if it's the other way, you might feel some fear, you might feel something that just doesn't feel right. Well, that's not the truth. That doesn't resonate most with you. It could be somebody else's truth, but you don't want to make it your truth. You don't. Why would you want to live in a state of that feeling place? It's just, it doesn't resonate with you, so you deflect that off. Okay, so this isn't a part of me, and then you let it go. You're on to the next thing. Anyways, that's all for the video today. Have a good one. Take care. Again, any questions, any comments, whatnot, just let me know, and we can talk about it. Alright, peace and love.